everyone, welcome back to my channel and happy fall. I am Timmy, or Ace of Cups. I am a tarot reader, an intuitive, and also a musician. I love fall. I'm so happy to be back. I know I've been gone for a little while, but I'm back home and I'm ready to continue, and just the fall season is the perfect time to get back into things, so welcome. So today we're going to talk about the Crystal Tarot deck, which is one that I picked up quite a while ago, but I have to say I haven't been using it that much. The whole idea of it is very cool, but then when I actually got it, I was I have to say, a little bit intimidated about using it because it does ask you to work with crystals and stones and things like that. And I'm learning about that, so I wasn't 100% ready to jump into it. And there's other reasons too that I will get into later as we talk about them. But I thought it might be a good deck because of all that to do a little review on. Here's Figaro, who's going to be with us, I guess, for the remainder of the video. So anyways, the whole premise is that for every single card in the deck, it not only gives you you obviously have your visuals, which we'll go through a little bit, but you also get a stone suggestion that you can work with. And they also tell you like what planet or sign it's associated with, as well as what chakra you can work with. So I'm going to go through them pretty quickly. I do really like the artwork in these. You can see it's very like, I don't want to say cartoony because that's not it. I don't tend to love decks that have all human representations, but I actually really love this one. I find the art very calming, very pleasing, and that's something, for at least for me, that's important when you're working with it. I'll stop and talk about a couple of the stones, like ones that I can recognize, so I'm not leafing through the book. Here's our Magician. Here's number 2, High Priestess. I love this card. I think the artist worked really well with like the color of the stones, right? So for example, this stone is the moonstone, and I love that like pale blue background. And the same thing like with the Empress, number 3, you can see it's just this like beautiful green scene, and I believe that, oh, I want to double check this. I believe the stone they say for that one is emerald. Yes, emerald. So green emerald, that's perfect. Here's our Emperor, and he, like, that's perfect, right? Associated with Aries, and he's holding these beautiful rubies, right? That's the stone with that one. This is interesting. Usually the Hierophant is number 5 is called the Hierophant, but in this deck it is the High Priest. But in many decks you might see it as the Hierophant. Here's our number 6, the Lovers, and even if you don't know that much about stones, you can see pretty clearly at the bottom there that it's a rose quartz, which I think is perfect for this. Here is our Chariot, right? So you can see like a lot of traditional imagery. I love the color scheme on this one, our Strength. It does a pretty traditional take on what's going on with the card, right? Taming the lion. And the stone you can see pretty clearly there is also citrine, which goes beautifully with that color of the lion. Here is our Hermit. Wheel of Fortune. I like this one, the purple, and then of course the stone they say to work with is your amethyst. Here's Justice, which you can also see sometimes as the number 8, right? Sometimes Strength and Justice are switched. Here is our Hanged Man, or Hanged One, you'll see. And the only reason I know for sure that the stone is aquamarine is because I pulled it the other day, and also it is my birthstone, which I wear all the time. I like the Death card. It's very interesting, a little bit different of a representation than you would usually see. Oh, see you later, Figaro. Here is our Temperance. The Devil, again, it's a mixture, right? This one is a pretty traditional looking version of the devil that you might see like based off of even the Rider-Waite. I'm actually curious what stone they ask or tell you to work with. Smoky quartz. Great. All right, and here is our tower. Again, pretty traditional imagery. It's interesting where they kind of go off in a little bit of a different direction. Here's our star, which I love. It's very like moody looking. The stone they say to work with is lapis lazuli. Here is our, again, pretty traditional moon card. Beautiful. And we just have a couple more. Here's our sun. And then Judgment, which I think is a very beautiful rendition of it. And then finally, the World. Right? And I'm going to look up that one too, because you can tell some of them I kind of can tell from looking at them, and some of them I still need to look. That's what I thought, right? She's holding a couple of beautiful clear quartz crystals. So those are our majors, and you can see, if you're familiar with tarot, you can kind of intuitively see what's going on, or if you know other traditional decks, it's pretty straightforward. Let's move on to the minors. So we have 4 suits, just like normal, plus, so it's ace through 10, plus the court cards. Wands, which are fire, swords, which are air, pentacles, which are earth, and cups, which are emotion, right? Or water is the element, I should say. I would say if you're not super comfortable with the meanings of the minor arcana, that this deck might be a little challenging for you. I'll show you the ace on each one, but for the most part, when you get into the other numbers other than ace, or even with the ace, you can see, so here's our wands, and I love it that they do still give you a crystal and everything. That's super helpful. But right, there's not a lot of imagery that kind of tells you intuitively what's going on with the card. So it's sort of, I think, kind of presumes that you already have basic knowledge about the minor arcanas. So if you're already an avid tarot reader and you have lots of decks and you write, like we've burned our meanings of the minor arcanas kind of into our brains, then this deck is great. And I love that, like I said, I love the added layer that they give you crystals, and it helps you learn more of that. But like, let me pull out another example. Like look, 8 of Wands, like it's kind of all the same pattern. It's just your wands with kind of fire coming out of them, which tells you general things about the suit, right? It tells you like you're dealing with wands, it's fiery, it's magic, right? But a lot of other decks will kind of like show you in the picture what's going on, and this sort of presumes that you already know the meaning of the card. So that's all. So there's our, I do like the color scheme though, so I love how it's like yellow and orangey for fire in the wands. And then let's take a look at the swords. This is beautiful. It's got this like theme of this light blue with these beautiful clouds, which is great. But the same thing, like if you look at any other sword, it's kind of just the same, where you just see the number. So again, if you're not super familiar, maybe just think about working with the majors while you get to know the minors a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to like dissuade anybody from choosing a deck. Here is Pentacles. There's our ace, and like you see the green and brown theme, which is perfect for earth. But then again, right, if I picked, right, 10 of Pentacles, for example, there's no specific thing that says like, oh, this is what the meaning of 10 of Pentacles is. So just be aware of that. And then lastly, our water suit, right, cups. And this is kind of like where the air is more of like a blue, like a whitish blue. This is kind of like an aqua for water, which again is gorge. I love it. But right, same thing when you get to like the different cards, they don't give you too much to go on, so you really sort of need to have a base for yourself underneath you. That being said, I really love this deck. I'm excited to be using it a little bit more. I hope that this was helpful for you. I would, especially if you're looking for more decks, you're super comfortable with the majors and the minors and their meanings, this is a great deck, especially if you want to learn more about different crystals and how you can work with them with the tarot. So I hope this was helpful. I'll be back again soon with some more videos, and I have some interviews coming up soon. You can find me on Instagram, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me and book appointments with me at my website, aceofcupsreadings.com. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you soon. Bye.